Hello Geeks, Nerds, and Zombies. Today I will be reviewing Green Arrow by Mike Grell. Basically, he kind of did everything. He did the art, he did the story, but there's a couple other people. Hannigan and Glordano. Glordano. Diano. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. Mispronounced your name. But anyways, back to actual seriousness. Um, yeah, this is, if you don't already know, this is my favorite Green Arrow series of all time. Mike Grell does a serious take of the Green Arrow without actually losing what makes Green Arrow Green Arrow. Sure, we get rid of the trick arrows, and he he's a lot more serious, but he still has that witty personality. He still has that kind-hearted personality. He just wants to do good in the world. Um, and so I really like this whole series because I think this really shows Green Arrow at his best. Um, and that's why I like Mike Grell's writing so much because, again, he does do the serious take, almost like Arrow, except they fail. And I'll go into all of this in a rant, but basically what I'm saying is both of them do the serious take of Arrow. But the problem is, Arrow, the TV show, loses what it actually means to be Arrow. When he doesn't have this hope for the city. He doesn't want to make the city better. Well, I'm sorry, he does like the first season, but after that, they really kind of go away from his love of the city and just wanting to protect the people that he loves and cares more. Instead, they go more for just killing characters off and making dramatic moments so you can get delusioned into thinking it's a good show. But again, I'll do all that in a Green Arrow rant that'll probably come later on this week. But yeah, anyways, so that's why I love this series so much, because it is that serious take of Arrow, which we haven't seen before. And it was a risky move for Grell, right? Because even then, everything that you see in this was his, right? The longbow, this is why it's called the Longbow Hunter series. Just, if you guys didn't know. But you see the hood? See, whenever you think of Green Arrow, what do you think? You think of this guy in a hood with the arrows and the quiver or whatever. But what you may have not known, but this was the first time we ever saw a Green Arrow like this. Grell was actually the first person to give him the hood because he had that more of Robin Hoodie look. I'll just set this up now. He had that more Robin Hoodie look with just the hat. And Grell was like, yeah, that doesn't really work for my serious take. So I think I'm going to make him have a hood and be a little bit darker. And that's what I kind of like and appreciate about this series, because it does take on serious topics and it really does tackle all of that. But it does it professionally, and it does these, but he kind of explains why they happen and how you can deal with this, right? And again, that's the difference between the Arrow series, right? Mike Grell could bring up something as serious as being raped, right? And Arrow could do that same thing, but Mike Grell has it and uses it nicely, right? He deals with the topic, he explains it, and he basically he treats it like it should be treated, right? If Arrow did that, they would just use it as a dramatic moment. And that's all they would do. They wouldn't try to explain how to fix it. They wouldn't really show how hard it would be to have this stuff happen to you, right? But Grell does, and Grell actually shows how it can affect people, and he shows how this stuff can be changed, and he shows that this stuff is happening because this stuff wasn't really talked about, right? The whole drugs issue, comic books code was like, no, we're not going to let you talk about drugs, rape, sex, or anything like that, because it was such a touchy-feely topic. But people like Grell, all those writers were like, no, this needs to be out there. This needs to be out in the public. We need to be able to deal with these issues. And that's why I love this so much. And because it's very groundbreaking, and it's very, the stories are just like, to me, the writing is like the Killing Joke writing. It's so poetic, and everything has a point to it, and they deal with everything properly. And again, and the drawing is just great too. It's a realistic. I'll hold this up again, actually, but it's realistic, and it shows emotion very well. And that's why, again, I mean, I could go into multiple reasons why I love this and why I love Grell's writing, and why he's so brilliant and what he does. And I'm gonna try to, and alright, I don't know how I say this a lot. I'm like, alright, yeah, I'm gonna start a series on this. I'm gonna talk about this a lot, and I think you guys will enjoy it. But it turns out that I end up saying, oh, never mind, I got two over my head. But this, I think, because I am so just passionate about this, and I do really like this whole thing, I think I will go, maybe like twice a week I'll do a Green Arrow comic book, Longbow Hunters comic book. So, I don't know, again, I might get over my head, but I do think I will actually do this, and I could do this just because I like talking about the stories, and I like showing what makes this particular version so great, and why it just shows how miserable and how stupid the Arrow TV show is, right? And you'll see in my rant once I post it up, whenever I want to post it up. I could even write just a whole. Sorry, I keep fixing my hair because it gets in my eyes, but whatever. I digress. I could do a whole 2 hours on why the TV show is so bad and why you are basically brainwashed into liking it. And I don't want to get into all that now. All right. So if I had to rate this 1 through 10, just this first comic book. And I know what you guys expect me to say. Oh, he's going to give it a 10 out of 10 because this is his favorite, and it's his favorite character, and his favorite comic book from the character, and maybe even his favorite comic book ever. But no, I understand that some of these moments in the comic book are a bit tough, because I did talk about rape, and yes, this is in fact in here. And I know what you're saying, Green Arrow dealing with rape, it's because he is this lighthearted character. And again, I talked about that before, that's the big difference is you can deal with these big issues and these big social issues and all these dramatic, awful things that happen in the world, but you can't lose your character in it. You have to keep your character, and it's like The Walking Dead, right? It's almost exactly like this, right? Sure, what's happening around the zombies, or aka all the awful stuff that's happening in the world. Yes, that's also interesting, but the main focus of the TV show, and the main focus of this comic book is the character, and how the character reacts to these moments, and how the character deals with some of these social issues. That's what I like to see, and that's what is interesting. So, yeah, again, sure, the social issues are kind of interesting and how they deal with it and everything, but it's how Green Arrow transforms in this world and deals with this world that makes it interesting and good. So that's basically it. I didn't even get to my rating. I talked about, if I had to give it a rating, 1 through 10, I'm going to have to give it a 7. And again, I know what you guys are saying, well, why didn't you give it a higher score? You obviously love this. And again, for me, there's a couple of out-of-character moments for him, which is a bit, I'm just like, Green Arrow wouldn't do that. Alright, this is a good comic book, I love it, but I'm trying to get used to some of the moments where Green Arrow doesn't kill, even though there are a couple comic books where Green Arrow does, in fact, kill, but he doesn't kill in this, right? But what he does do is he does hurt people, right? You see some shots of an arrow being shot through someone's ear or hand or whatever, and the blood is shown, and I'm like, it's kind of like a moment, I'm like, oh, I don't know, it's kind of like intense for Arrow, but, and so again, there's a couple of out-of-character moments for me, but otherwise, it's such a great comic book, and really, if you're even just a little bit interested in what Green Arrow actually is, just stop watching the TV show and pick up any other Green Arrow comic book except for the New 52 stuff, and you'll see what the character is about, and you'll see what he really is, So yeah, I didn't really get into the story about this because I feel like that would be even more time. But for the next couple of comic books, I will definitely get into the story. I just feel like talking about like why I like this series so much and everything. But yeah, the next comic book, the second comic book, I will talk about the story and what happens in the story. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you got at least a little bit of insight. And I hope I kind of at least like got you interested. So that's pretty much it. See you guys later.